ऊपर बात हो रही है, ऑर्डिनेंस के ऊपर चर्चा हो रही है। अब हम बिल के ऊपर से चर्चा करने के लिए आपके अनुमति मांगे हैं। बिल पेश हुआ है। ये बिल पेश होने के बाद वो ऑर्डिनेंस नहीं, ये नया बिल एक्ट के रूप में आएगा। इसीलिए चर्चा ये बिल के ऊपर ही है। कोई ऑर्डिनेंस के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू लेके आना इन एडिशन हो सकता है, मगर अभी चर्चा बिल के ऊपर। और वरिष्ठ सदस्य एन.के. प्रेमचंद्रन जी बहुत अहम मुद्दा उठाए। He raised very relevant point, and I am duty bound to answer it. Whether states were consulted, as cooperatives are in the state list. Sir, मैं आपके द्वारा ऑनरेबल मेंबर को जवाब देना चाह रही हूँ। Consultation with states is required only for union legislation on concurrent list वाले items. Those items which come in the concurrent list require consultation with the state governments, and that is if the union legislation is on a concurrent list wala item. But here, this bill is in exercise of the union's legislative power under the union list. We are not touching the concurrent list. And if I'm touching the concurrent list, yes, I have to do the consultation. But I'm doing it on a union list item, 7th schedule, read with Article 246. And therefore, consultation with the states is not necessary. So then, you presented a bill during the budget session. You should have come here now. In between, what was the need to get an ordinance? Absolutely, there was a need for an ordinance. Several members have very nicely highlighted that because of COVID, the uncertainty being what it is, one wasn't even sure when the next session of Parliament would be. And in the meanwhile, the protection of the depositors is of critical importance. And I'm sure many of the well-meaning honorable members who contacted me or the MOS about the depositors who are suffering in many of these cooperative banks, I myself have received the representation from the Guru Raghavendra Cooperative Bank in Bengaluru, the place where I live in Bengaluru. The constituency member of parliament, my representative member of parliament, Tejasvi Surya, spoke very well, clearly explaining what is the difference. He and I have received representation from depositors in Guru Raghavendra, for who also, like the PMC Bank, till today there's no solution given. They are trying and trying and trying. And so was the PMC members, Punjab Maharashtra Cooperative Bank members who met me in Maharashtra, in Mumbai, and several times after that, several eminent members, Supriya Suleji is one of them, who have really, with a very heavy heart, come to say, can you not get something done quickly? Even today, she's given a very heartfelt appeal. We don't want such things to happen, hurting the depositors. And we want to make sure that there is some kind of a provision with which the RBI can do it. And here, much before I go into the details, I'd like to recall, because many of the members have duly said, cooperative ka role is desh mein mahatvapurna hai, they have done excellent work, we cannot undermine them. I'm fully with you. We cannot undermine, and we don't want to undermine. We certainly want to support the cooperative movement. But if the cooperatives are doing banking function, several eminent committees have said there is a need to regulate them. And there is a need to regulate them so that it is much more professionally run. And professionally, if the depositors are handled, and again, I'm sorry to refer to one member so many times, the clarity about why a cooperative bank's deposit collection when it goes outside of its members, has got to be brought in through the regulation, has been explained by so many members. And therefore, it is not as if we have forgotten the success story of the cooperative movement. हम याद रख रहे हैं कि कोऑपरेटिव मूवमेंट का इस देश में क्या रोल है, रूरल एरियाज में उनके कैसे भागीदारी है रूरल डेवलपमेंट में, ये सब याद है. उनको अंडरमाइन नहीं कर रहे हैं. फिर भी एक सच्चाई तो हम सामना करना पड़ेगा. लास्ट 2 डिकेड्स में, पिछले 2 दशक में 430 cooperative banks have been delicensed and they have gone into liquidation. पिछले 2 दशक में 430 cooperative banks, उनके लाइसेंस रद्द किया गया है एंड उनका परिसमापन भी हुआ है. अगर कोऑपरेटिव बैंक्स का अहम रोल है, मगर यह भी हम भूल नहीं सकते इतने सारे बैंक, कोऑपरेटिव बैंक लिक्विडेशन की ओर भी गए. इसका विपरीत ऑपोजिट देखिए बैंकिंग में. दिस इज नॉट टू से they are not under stress. Cooperative banks are under stress. There are some banks who are under stress, private, public, whatever. But not a single commercial bank, इसी कालावधि में 2 दशक में, not a single commercial bank whose depositors are protected by the banking laws to the full extent of the BR Act has gone into liquidation. ये भी हम भूल नहीं सकते. And therefore, while I acknowledge the important contribution that cooperative banks have done for this country and are still doing, it is necessary in the interest of the depositors and also the bank themselves that we need some banking laws also to extend to the cooperative banking activity. Cooperative society का बाकी कारोबार में हम कुछ नहीं कर रहे हैं, सिर्फ इस लिमिटेड परिधि में जो बैंकिंग काम कर रहे हैं उसके लिए ही ये अमेंडमेंट ले आ रहे हैं. एंड इसमें आई वांट टू ऐड वन थिंग. इन द 1964 bill which came in, the Banking Laws Amendment Application to Cooperative Society Bill 1964, I like to quote the line. The deposit, I'm quoting it, the deposits and working funds of cooperative banks are now so large. 1964 में कह रहे हैं, the deposits and the working funds of cooperative banks are now so large that the extension of the more important provisions of the Banking Companies Act 1949 and of certain other allied provisions of the Reserve Bank of India to these banks will be in public interest. This was said in 1964. There's more said, but I'm not going into the detail. So we should remember that it is not as if suddenly we have come up with something and that is being construed as, you know, we are stepping into the terrain of the states. Not at all. And also, why was this ordinance in June? Ordinance, when after the budget session I presented the bill, had to come in because for the financial year 2019-20, the annual financial data was made available before June. And when we saw the June data, wherein the financial data showed clearly that there is an increase in the gross NPA ratio of the urban cooperative banks from 2018-19, where it was 7%, it had come to 10%. So, the stress, further due to the coronavirus, we were worried that many of the cooperative banks would become fragile. So we wanted to also make sure that this legislation is brought in. Senior member M.K. Raghavan saying, you're asking us to drop, you're asking these cooperative banks to drop the name bank. We're not asking them to drop their names. They can still continue to have the name bank, but function like a bank, govern like a bank, and be sure that your depositors are not going to suffer like a bank. And therefore, for better governance, we need to have banking regulation coming in. Sir, there were concerns that will the Registrar of Cooperative Societies and also the role of the bank, Section 32, which Professor Saugata Rai also says, did you have a look at it? Yes, we've had a look at it. So the incorporation and regulation are also being done by the cooperative society, cooperative banks, State Registrar of Cooperative Society. Powers are not being taken away. They'll still be doing what they're doing. We are not encroaching into their terrain. So there was a lot of questions. ये पूछा गया कि membership structure को बदलेंगे क्या? Membership structure को बदलना ही रहे. State cooperative laws define that, and it is going to continue like that. State cooperative laws are not being touched under this present bill. So equal voting right, I know a lot of members spoke about it. Equal voting right for all members, based on the principle of one member, one vote, remains unaffected. Let me be clear on that. I hope I make it very clear. ये one member, one voting का प्रावधान अभी भी जारी है. We are not touching that. Why RBI, and are you not overloading RBI, has been repeatedly asked. I just want to make sure that we recall, for the benefit of this House, that the preamble of the RBI Act, Section 45L, 1 in bracket, says, Reserve Bank of India Act provides for the RBI and recognizes the RBI as the statutory body, and it is statutorily constituted to operate and empowered to regulate the credit system of the country to its advantage. So entire country का credit system को regulate करने का authority as per the preamble of the RBI Act is with the RBI. So when we are bringing this bill, our stand is the Registrar of Cooperative Society regulates the cooperative societies as a whole, cooperative societies as a whole, while the RBI shall be regulating the banking activities of the cooperative societies only. So the distinction is very clear. So member Benny Behanan from Kerala raised a lot of questions and said committee, high-level committee, and they have all said something and you're going against it. I just want to say that the high-powered Committee on Urban Cooperative Banks, 1999, which was chaired by a former Chief Secretary of Government of Andhra Pradesh, has very clearly recommended. And of the several recommendations, I want to bring to your notice only 3 points. Very quickly, that committee is of the opinion that the Reserve Bank of India should be vested with such a power. It is therefore recommending that Section 36AA, some members did refer to that, of the Banking Regulation Act, as applicable to the banking companies may also be extended to the urban cooperative banks. That was one observation that committee gave. Again, another observation that committee has given is that it recommends that Section 45 of the Banking Regulation Act should be suitably amended to extend to urban cooperative banks, subsections 4, 5, and 6 also all of the provisions of Section 45, which is what we are doing now. Section 45 of the BR Act as are incidental to or connected with the carrying on banking business. So, not suddenly a thought, but something which has been suggested. Sir, there were very many questions. Several members, honorable members, Pinaki Mishra, Jaydev, Galla have all asked questions. I'll just touch upon one or two of them, but I can probably, given the consideration of time, I'll just highlight one point for each of them. The large exposure framework Jaydev ji had raised, the large exposure framework is issued by RBI in exercise of its regulatory powers. As such, this already applies and does not require any amendment through the bill. So that has to be kind of a clarification given. And there were other points also, but I'm not getting into the details. I may write a separate reply to the members of parliament on some specific details. Sunita Duggal, honorable member, raised this question about land mortgage banks. Will it apply to them? Simple. Anywhere where bank is being used, yes, it will apply. Land mortgage banks use the word bank. Therefore, if they retain this word, they will be governed by this act. However, if they do not use the word bank and restrict themselves to their mandate, that is, of long-term agricultural development credit, they will not come under the bill's purview as per the amendments that we have been talking about. Member Nusrat Jahan also spoke about capital requirement. Capital is necessary for safety of banks and the depositors. Unlike cooperative societies that do not do banking, cooperative banking societies need to have capital at least as per the regulatory minimum requirement in order to carry safe banking. And therefore, regulatory capital for banking includes not only share capital, which has a high cost for the bank, but also capital in the form of bonds, which are cheaper for the bank. And therefore, allowing cooperative banks power to issue bonds will only be in the interest of the banks and also for their depositors. Sir, I am almost finished. I just want to add, Dr. Jaykumar felt that the state governments are being treated like tahsildars. Even a tahsildar will not be treated in the way he, honorable member, imagines under Modi government. Everybody will be treated with respect. And the way in which the member spoke, saying, you're treating the state governments like tahsildars. No, sir. We treat everybody. After all, the Prime Minister says about himself that he's a Pradhan Sevak. We don't undermine anybody. But yet, if depositors are suffering, we have to stand with them. किसी का कमजोरी हम बर्दाश्त नहीं करेंगे. डेपोसिटर्स का सेफगार्ड के लिए ये कानून आ रही है. इसीलिए इसका गलत फहमी किसी के मन में नहीं रहना चाहिए. ஜெயக்குமார் அவர்களுக்கு நான் சொல்ல விரும்புறது, யாரையும் நாங்கள் அவமதிக்கலை, யாரையும் குறைச்சலா பேசலை, எல்லாரோடைய நலன் கோரி சொல்கிறோம். அதனால தாசில்தாரை ட்ரீட் பண்ணுற மாதிரி ஸ்டேட்டை ட்ரீட் பண்ணாதீங்க, எங்ககிட்ட சொல்லாதீங்க. பிரதமரே தன்னை ஒரு சேவகனா சொல்கிற இந்த நாட்டில் யாரையும் தாழ்வு குறைவா நடத்துகிற கவர்மெண்ட் இது இல்லை. So finally, therefore, amendment to section 45, amendments to section 56, amendment to section 3 are all required in the interest of the depositors. I wouldn't want to take more of your time, sir. Thank you very much. And thank you all, honorable members.
क्या क्लियरिफिकेशन
सुरेश नारायण
में ले लेंगे।